want. And when you get it, you'll cherish it more. So you are saying that one of the ways to raise money to make this happen is to do your part, which is
Of course,
to
of
ask for the
course.
support
I
of the
think a
public.
lot of times as organizations, we sit back and we expect, and I don't think that that's the right way to go about it. You have to definitely put in the work. You have to show that you're willing to um, fundraise, host an event to try and raise your own funds in order for businesses who are eventually going to contribute as well to see, hey, they're not just sitting back and waiting for us to give them the money, but they're also trying to raise the money on their own. So that's the principle behind of it. The walkathon is going to be held this coming Saturday. I want to commend the young ambassadors and their parents who have been doing their due diligence in selling the walkathon tickets in order to get the public to come out. I must say that this is our ninth annual Unity Walkathon. The reason we call it Unity Walkathon is because we always include all of the schools. So every single high school on the island has gotten an invitation to participate on it. It's color coded. So, for example, I believe Learning Unlimited's color is red, MPC's color is blue, CBA's color, I think, is white. But all of the schools have a color. CIA's color is yellow. And we're asking all of the teenagers, their principals, their teachers, parents to come out and show that we're walking for a cause. And really, it's, I heard part of the radio program before I came in where you're talking about the spike in the criminal activity that's going on. And when you look at the videos, you're seeing young boys that are, busy committing these crimes. And I believe that we have to continue to take a stance against violence, and the Unity Walk is basically against violence. I must say I'm quite happy that since school has started, we have not seen that many incidents, school fights, and so on, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
So this is what this walk is about. It's about getting all of the teenagers together in unity to walk together, unified, and against violence.
So what are some of well, maybe you can start with the route where you would gather, and then if there's going to be anything else involved in the
Yes.
walk, we
So the walkathon is $10. You get a proud supporter badge that you proudly support the St. Maarten Promoting Young Ambassadors Foundation, and that also comes with breakfast. The walk will start at the Rahul Illich Sports Complex. Last year, unfortunately, I was not here for the walk because my son got injured and I was in the U.S. with him. However, this year
it
I'm
went
here.
on still though.
It went on, yes,
Yes.
without me. And I'm
Yeah.
so proud of the work that the young ambassadors and the parents did, in my absence to just make sure that everything flowed. And it did. So that proved to me that I do not have to be there in order for things to continue. It can continue without my presence. But this year I'm here, and this year the route, it starts at the Rahul Illich Sports Complex. It will take us to Welkaleken Road, onto the Bush Road, Pondfield. We go to the beginning of the Emma Plain, down the boardwalk to Great Bay, and then down Little Bay Hill and back to the sports complex.
Yeah,
Yeah,
quite
so
some walk.
that's
And what time it starts?
it starts at 5:30, but that walk, if you're walking in a good
5:30 is
pace, you
pretty
can
dark.
finish it within an hour.
You-
I walk almost every day, and when I do the around the pond from my house, come around, it's about 45 minutes to 50 minutes, and that's not including the stretch. So I think maximum an hour and a half if you're if you're walking at a steady pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And just $10 to participate.
$10,
And that's-
and
that-
remember that this money goes towards the Interscholastic IELTS competition.
So we have
which will be
supporting.
held-
Yes.
right, which will be held next year. God Spare Our Lives. I just confirmed the date, so it's going to be on the 7th and the 8th of March, 2026. God Spare Our Lives, of course. And I am excited. The schools are excited. The children are excited for the 11th annual Interscholastic IELTS competition.
That platform too as well have brought success to some of the participants too as well.
Yes,
There
of
are
course,
quite some folks who came through that
many. I mean, you have Kenyo, that was a past winner. You have Chardonnay Martis, who's currently in the music industry in the Netherlands, who also Actually, he was our first winner for the primary school competition. We also have Deanna Mussington, even though she's not originally from St. Martin. She was going to school here at the time. She was the first winner for the senior part of the competition. We also have Shanti, who is
Come a little
currently
closer. Yeah.
Shanti, who's currently, I believe, in Korea. Also in the music industry, we have Kay Hill, who also passed, you better known to us as Francia. So there's been quite a number of artists that have come through in the interscholastic idols who are now really making it big in the music industry.
Yeah. What about the walk itself? You have chosen a walkathon to raise your funds, but there got to be some benefits as far as
Walking?
yeah.
Of course, there are health benefits. I mean, I just told you I started on my walking journey in July. I started walking because, and I could share it here because what I thought was a health scare was actually me probably going into premenopause. Yes, I'm not as young as I look. So, that was a kind of a scare for me because I really started experiencing a lot of different things in my body that I was not accustomed to.
Yeah.
And in speaking to the doctor, she said to me, Angelique, are you exercising? And I was
Yes.
like, well, I used to. I haven't in a while. She said to me, remember, you're not getting younger, you're getting older, and exercise should be a part of your daily regimen. Just like how you do everything else that you think is necessary.
Even eat.
Exercise,
If
right.
you eat, you should
Exercise
exercise.
should be a part of your daily routine. And because of that, really, I started with walking because I felt it was not the easiest thing to do, but the most comfortable for me. I was never a runner. I don't sprint or anything.
It's relatively easy to
So-
do, man. Come on.
That's
Walking?
what I said. That's why I said it wasn't. It wasn't that because it was easy. I'm just saying for me,
Yes.
it was the easiest
Thing.
form of exercise that I could start with and not necessarily have to pay the gym and stuff like that. So I started, and lo and behold, what I thought was a myth, because I also wanted to lose some weight. What I thought was a myth was actually true, because the more I walked, and I was walking consistently, every week I would lose 1 kilo. And I heard about that, and that if you walked a little bit over 10,000 steps every day, by the end of the week, you would see a change. And I did. So it wasn't only for the health reasons, but also, if you really want to lose weight, you feel that you've become overweight, obese, or whatever you think. If you're not happy in your body as well, you can also utilize it as a form of losing weight. But for me, it was more for health reasons when I started. And I realized the different benefits of it. I started sleeping better. I'm not a good sleeper. And when I started doing that, I would be so exhausted by the end of the evening that I had no choice but to go to sleep. And I slept well. So there's so many benefits about walking that, of course, walkathons, even though when we started it so many years ago, it was more of, a fun way to get everybody unified and walking. But now that I've learned so much over the years, I know that it's also such a great health benefit. I would encourage everyone to come out, even if it's just 30 minutes a day, and you don't have to go and walk on the road or whatever. You can just make steps around your house, around your yard, but do it. Because
Movement,
you're going
movement.
to reap movement.
Yeah.
Because you're going to reap the benefits from it.
Okay. So, how can one
Get
take
tickets?
care by getting tickets, or they can come the morning and
Yes,
They
so
can
the
pay
young
you-
ambassadors and their parents have tickets. So,
Okay.
I mean, in the schools, so in MPC for sure, there are tickets. At St. Dominic's, there are tickets. At Sundial, there are tickets. At CIA, there are tickets. Most of the schools were informed, and the children who are part of the young ambassadors who attend these schools, of course, they have tickets to sell. So, and of course, I have tickets as well. So, and other members of the foundation. So anyone who is interested, they can hit me up on Facebook, or who have my number, they can reach out to me and be a part of this. It is in collaboration with the Department of Youth, I must say that, because we started collaborating with the Department of Youth, I think the first event we had, because when we first started, it wasn't a walkathon. That's why it's the 9th annual. We started actually doing a youth movie night. And whatever the theme was for that year in terms of the rights of the child, would be the movie we would utilize in order to bring across that message. So that's how we started working along with the Department of Youth, and we've continued that working relationship, and now we host the annual walkathon.
And this is part of your pet project, or you are one of the backbones of the Young Ambassadors Foundation,
Yes,
are you?
yes.
Yeah.
I'm the founder.
The founder.
Started in 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for anyone who have not yet made the decision to be part of this walkathon, it's going to be this
Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yes,
starting at 5:30.
5:30 at the Rahul Illich Sports Complex.
Rahul Illich Sports.
Complex.
You're going to go all the way up to Welcome, take Bush Road,
Yep.
go all the way up to the head of town.
Up to the head of town.
Then you hit the boardwalk, and then on your way back to
We go through Front Street, boardwalk on Front Street.
yes,
Then up to Great Bay,
yeah,
Little Bay, and back
and then
to
back
the
to
Rahul Illich
yeah,
Sports Complex.
quite.
Correct.
And it's Saturday, so guess what? No treats at the end. How about
Yes,
water?
so-
You're recommending folks to walk with water?
Well, we're
or-
gonna have water. We're gonna have 2 stations where we're going to be, and we're going to have persons there with water. The water is also going to be at the venue. So we end at the Rahul Illich Sports Complex at the Cahill Community Space. So that's at the complex, but then that's an area where everyone will meet after, and there we will have breakfast and water. Water, bush tea, no juice. We're staying away from the sugar.
Yeah, you see that's an important part of this whole exercise, because at the end of it, you would have
And
stuff
of
to
course,
hydrate.
We're also gonna have fruits. We're hoping to have oranges and apples as well.
Okay.
A real healthy breakfast.
Well, congratulations on your. This is your 9th walkathon,
Yes, it is.
and you're looking forward to having all the schools participate in the idol competition that is
Yes,
scheduled for
yes.
March of next year.
Yes.
What are some of the things that people can expect to see at this idol competition?
Well, we have now. It's actually 4 competitions, because we have the Cycle 1 competition that is from the age of. Well, actually, that's from kindergarten to grade 2.
And
then
that's singing?
That's singing. It's a singing competition. Then we also have the Cycle 2 competition. That's from grade 2 up until the 6th grade. And then we have the senior competition. That's all of the high schools that compete against each other. And that's on the Saturday night. So on the Saturday night, we have the solo competitions. And on a Sunday afternoon, we have the choir competitions.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And that is in 2 segments as well. We have the primary schools competing, and then we have the secondary schools competing against each other. Last year in the secondary choir competition, MPC won for the 3rd consecutive year.
Oh.
So they got to keep the
trophy.
Not a trophy. We have a trophy that the schools, each school would get a winning trophy, but then you also have the Challenge Cup.
Oh.
And if you win the Challenge Cup like they did 3 times, then you get to keep it. So MPC got
And then you would.
and then you'll have to get a new one.
Oh, okay.
And then it continues again. So whoever is able to win it 3 times, they get to keep the cup, but they all get a trophy, of course.
This will ever stop, in your view?
As long as I'm alive, no. As long as the Lord gives me breath, I will continue to do this, because these are the things that I love, Wendell. You know that I'm a youth advocate. I love working with young people. Just yesterday I was talking to a good friend of mine, and I was telling him, persons like him and I are rare, because you have so many people that start foundations, they start organizations, they say they're in it
And
for
then
the
it
youth,
became dominant.
but the reality is they start it not with, for me, good intentions, and then eventually it stops because they're not passionate about working with young people. They're not passionate about making that change. And for me, when you love what you do, you're going to continue doing it until, like I said, the Lord gives you grace and opportunity to continue. So for me, it is something that I will continue doing. It's just like my radio program. It's going into its 15th year with the young people. And I've seen generations of young people come on. As a matter of fact, my daughter was just 2.5 when I
You
started
started.
the radio program. She's 16 years today. and she started coming on with me and reading at a young age on the program. So these are the things that I feel that persons, if you really care about the youth, you're gonna stay involved. You're going to um, be that listening ear, be that helping hand, be that mentor, and always be there to give them your support. And for me, the most important is passing on the knowledge that I have.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be here forever. Somebody has to eventually take over. And it's important for me to instill in them those type of principles that I grew up with, knowing that uh, it's not a real word, but people talk about stick-to-itiveness, that you stick with it. You just don't give up at the first sign of trouble, you know? And that is what I want the young people to realize. When you start something, you really care about it, you just don't give up because of. You stick with it.
Ambassadorship is one of the roles that our community, the people in our community, plays. And I know you, at one point, you represented St.Maarten. That's the role of an ambassador
Of course.
to the rest of the world. You think that is encouraged enough in our educational system? Because here again, when you find those people who understand that that is one of the way you can contribute as a young person in particular, man, you understand that you have a function as good as anybody else who are contributing to the development of our country and people. The role
Of
of
course, we always
ambassadorship.
have that.
You think our educational system
Yeah,
is
we
encouraging that
always-
enough?
We always have that discussion, Wendell. Again, it's always who you have. You know, it depends on the teachers as well. Because sometimes
Models.
you have to be the role model, but you also have to embody it as well. If you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and it's hard.
That's
for
where you
to
have a
be-
passion.
Right, and you have to understand the role in order for you to also be the role and,
Yeah.
and be able to pass on that knowledge.
Yes,
And if
yes.
you don't, then it's going to be hard to do it. And like you said, I've represented St.Maarten on numerous stages already. So for me, being an ambassador is extremely important. And I'm currently mentoring a young lady in public speaking. And yesterday we had our first session, and those are the things that I was telling her. You know, remember, when people see you, they don't hear you first, they see you. So you always have to make a lasting first impression. Because that's what people are going to remember. You know, before they even hear what you have to say, they're already judging you based on how you look. So these are the things that I teach the young ambassadors, and I teach them, even if you are not wearing that young ambassador shirt, you are always an ambassador. There are people who see you every Saturday, because I always go live, so they know who you are. So always have in the back of your head, I am a representation of this organization, but moreover, I'm a representation of the people of St. Maarten, because I am a St. Maarten young ambassador. And I have to exhibit that type of behavior at all times, even when nobody's watching, or you think nobody's watching.
Yeah. And another area of ambassadorship too that people can be aware of what the role really is in sports as well.
Oh, yeah. of
Because you're
course.
representing your people. An ambassador play a very important role.
Yes, they do.
All right, folks, don't forget to be a part of the walkathon that is scheduled for this Saturday. It's organized by the Young Ambassador Foundation, and they are raising much needed funds to make the 11th St. Maarten Interscholastic Idol competition a further success. It has done its role throughout the years, and it will continue to do so. So, wrap it up, Angelique.
Yes, so I
1
just
minute.
want to say to the radio listeners and those viewing on Facebook that it's been a pleasure being here, sharing this information with you. I do encourage you to come out and support our youth, because this is all about them. We are, passing on our knowledge, our experience, our guidance to them. And what a better way to do this than by showing your support. Come out, let them see that they matter, and that you're encouraging them when they're busy doing positive things.
Good.
Because this is a positive initiative, and many times we talk about young people and we want to put them in a negative light, and you will never hear me doing that, because I'm always going to refer to my favorite quote from Socrates before Christ, where he talked about young people being mischievous, not listening to their parents, putting their feet on tables. And if you look at that quote, you would hear adults saying, "Oh my God, has the children of today." That has always been the label given to all children. We were labeled like that in our generation, the generation before, and like I said, this is a quote before Christ from Socrates. So it proves that when we talk about children, children will be children, regardless of which era they're in, but it's up to us as adults and as mentors to guide them in the right way. If we do not live up to our role and responsibilities, we cannot expect them to do anything different.
And you know, they are basically waiting for your correction and guidance. And if you don't give them anything,
yeah, then it's just a free for all.
How can you expect them to?
If you don't have rules, then you have a lawless state.
Yeah.
If you don't have laws, you have a lawless state.
Okay, MP, thanks a lot for your time. And let me just encourage everyone to get your youth involved in these type of initiatives, because they were values that they would benefit from as a result of being involved. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll be back again tomorrow, God's willing. Today being Wednesday, check my program out at 5 this afternoon in The View. In the meantime, you take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.